What's up, guys? Today I wanted to show you how I intend to make this Cub Cadet LT1045's belt from jumping off. Just a short brief history from research. All the decks are the same. There's 3 different decks. The only difference is there's 3 different configurations. Mine happens to be the very first one. How you can tell that? Right back here. If you see this kind of arm right here, you got the first gen deck, which is a pain in the ass. Here is the printout. You got your 3 spindles and your 1 idler pulley. That idler pulley right there is 4 1/4 inches. I bought a new one because that one is shot. Now, they did go to, and they tried to upgrade, which consisted of having 2 of these idler pulley arms with 2 pulleys the same size. Didn't work, kept popping off. Now, that is this deck right here. You can see your 3 spindles and then your 2 the same idler pulleys. And that was their second attempt. Here's the service kit that I picked up, and it was $77.24, not including tax. The only thing you get with this kit is that bracket, 1 idler arm, 2 push washers, and that washer along with that little nut or bolt, and then a smaller diameter pulley, which this is 3.5 inches with a wider lip, or wider width, and then a wider lip for the flange. And then you have your spacer there. So with that said, oh, it does come with the belt. So if you have the second configuration with those 2 big pulleys and the 2 idler arms, you can continue using that belt. Now, if you have the original version, with that, you cannot use this belt. It's much too long. That belt consists of being 118 inches and a quarter. So that's 118 and a quarter inch for the overall size. If I recall correct, it's 954-0461. None of the shops in my area had it. I had to order it from Amazon, still kept popping off. So apparently Cub Cadet did not fix it with that. They went to this, and in order for me, starting from scratch from the first, I had to buy this idler pulley. There's the number. I bought 4 fender washers, which are 1.5 inches in diameter, 3/8 hole. The kit also comes with 1 shoulder washer. That's the number for that one, which is the exact same thing as that one. So I had to buy an extra shoulder washer because I'm starting from scratch here. I also purchased 1 3/4 inch bolts. They're 3/8 by 16 threads per inch, and then a 1 3/4 5/16 bolt. You're gonna use the original spring. You're gonna need to buy another spring. They didn't have the exact size, so it's no big deal. I'll just bend it, cut it, do whatever I need to do. That's the model number of this spring, or I'll just, you know, drill the hole in the deck differently. Okay, so the directions tell you to take this bolt and this idler arm. They want you to stick it through that hole, and they want you to stick item 8, which is your washer. You're going to put that there. Then you're going to take your pulley and the part with your higher side slides down over the bolt. Then you're going to take your flanged lock washer and you're going to tread it on there. Okay, so we have the 1 and 3/4 inch bolt. You got the shoulder washer, and then you got the push nut. So what you're looking at right there is just this bolt slip through this shoulder washer from this way. So you got your lip there, and once you got that pushed on, then you take one of these push-on washers and you slip it over the bolt and push it all the way down, and that's just to secure it. Okay, so now we're looking at the second idler arm. You're going to take your 1 and 3/4 bolt. You're going to do the same as you did the first way. This time you're going to slide it up through the idler arm. Now with this new pulley, they have this little bushing, which on my old one it didn't come out. So that seats in there like that, and then just to make it easier, I'll show you. You slip the bushing over, and then you take your pulley, and I'm putting my rivets up because the bushing was installed with the rivets like that. You're going to stick that over there like that. Then you're going to take your cap and you're going to stick that over there. You're going to put your nut on there and tighten that up. Okay, so after you got that assembled, you got your bolt, you got your spacer, and then you got your cap, and you got your nut, and now we have two. Okay, so now what you do is you take this, you're going to slip it into your smaller pulley, and then you're going to take another shoulder washer. You're going to slip the large side down. So that's what you have. Be kind of sandwiched in between. You can see that. And we're going to take another push washer, and we're going to push that onto the bolt. Okay, so that's what she looks like. And I guess when you cinch this down, you know, you're going to have a tighter spot. So now this piece, we're going to take our flat piece here. You're going to set that down. You got to make sure this lip is right, because this lip sits over here like that, you see. So that's going to go that way, and then we got to get a measurement over there. So what you have here is this going through here, and then this cinched together like that, and this is going to go in the original pivot hole. Okay, so what you want to do in between here, before I assembled this, I really should have did it, but you want to lightly grease the shoulder washer, the flat surface and the surface that goes through the idler arm like this. So you got to grease the idler arm and the shoulder washer lightly. Okay, so now this is your plate, and they want you to lubricate this and in here, and then they also want you to lubricate on this other side. Okay, so make sure this part, you know, is going to be down towards the deck. You got that bent part down. what they want you to do is take your first smaller idler pulley, put it through there, and that's going to look like that. And then you're going to take the other one and we're going to put it to the bottom. Okay, so now you got to lubricate this one too, both sides and the hole. Now you're going to slip your bigger pulley, your idler arm, underneath this bracket here, right there. And then we're going to put that down to the deck. Okay, now this is your original mounting hole that old arm was on. That's the bolt hole that we're going to be feeding this through. Okay, so we fed the bolt down. We're going to come around it underneath to the deck. Now what I did, I used 2 fender washers here because the thick washer that they're talking about, I don't have. Then we have our flange nut. And we're going to cinch this down, and if I can fit a jam nut on there, I'm going to fit a jam nut on there. Okay, so there you go. We got the 2 lock washers, we got the flange nut, and then I put a jam nut. And if you look over here, we have this thing sandwiched together. And this pulley seems like it's cocked up to me, which don't seem right. And then we have a pulley here that's higher. Okay, so here's what we got. Now what they want you to do is from this spindle right here, they want you to measure over 1 1/8 of an inch. So we're at 1 1/8 of an inch right there. And they want this front edge right along here parallel, meaning this is running parallel with the bend of the deck. And all I did is take a magic marker and I marked it. We'll center punch that and put a hole through it. Right, so now that we're set up, we got a 1/8 inch drill bit, and we're going to center that up right in that mark there, and we're going to drill a pilot hole. After that, we're going to follow up and drill through with a 7/32 drill bit. Okay, so after you got the hole drilled, you're going to take your bolt, and it's a 3/8 socket. So you're going to line this up. This is a self-tapper, and we're going to screw that into the deck. Okay, for this next part, if you have the old style spindles, this is 1 1/8 inch. So what we got to do is break this loose, because we got to drill a hole for this arm here. The spring, it's got to come back here. Now this is the center blade. I took an old piece of wood, and you can see it's going to stop it when we break that loose. Okay, so now we're going to take this 5/16. It's 18 threads per inch. It's 1 3/4 long, and we're going to have to drill it over here somewhere. And then we're going to, from the underneath of the deck, add a nut, or a lock washer, a nut, and then a jam nut. I'll give you the measurements when I figure it out. Alright, so this bolt here with this spring over here on this pulley, approximately from the back, where the back of the deck is, you follow it out, and this is your center spindle. You come over here, and if you're looking, the deck has a crease, so we're slightly off, maybe 1/8 of an inch, if you take a look at that way. And then from the back over here to the center of this bolt, which is a 5/16, we're 10 5/8 right to the center. Okay, so now we're looking at the 2 spindles, and you can see the main spring. It comes over here to this pulley. Well, if you look at this angle, that spring is too darn close to that belt. So I'm going to take this, it's a 5/16 bolt, and we're going to feed it in, take this spring out of here, and then feed the bolt in there. We're going to put a nut, leave a little space, and then we're going to use 2 other bolts and put the spring down on this side to give more room between the spring and the belt so your belt don't wear out. Okay, so that's all we did. We just removed this spring right here from up here, fed the bolt, and then we put that nut on there, and then we just put 2 jam nuts, and now we'll hook this part of the spring in between there. Okay, so we got that little bolt through that first pulley, attached there, kind of crimped that on there as you can see, and then this one over here, I shortened that spring up, measures from here to here 5 inches, so I might have to take a coil or 2 off yet because it was at 5 1/4. What I did was, you can see here, I put a bend on that spring hook and coming up here. Okay, so we got the deck on the mower. There's the PTO. There's the belt. You see the back spring. Now we are on the lowest setting, and we are on the right side where the chute is, right here. So that's what that side looks like. Okay, so here we go on the other side. And you can see that spring there. So you got some tension. I'm thinking I might have to put a little bit more on there. I don't know. Now let me raise the deck up. Alright, so we're on number 2 now. Now this is number 3. And that's number 4. It's number 5 there. Okay, now we're on the other side with the chute. We're on high. That's number 5, 4, 3, 2, and that's 1.